Why is the United States buying Soviet scrap? Reports say it has acquired 81 Soviet-era combat aircraft from Kazakhstan. And let me tell you, all these aircraft are obsolete. They are not in usable condition, basically. So what exactly is America planning to do with them? Swing the junk towards Ukraine. Is that what is happening? You see, for several years, Kazakhstan has been gradually getting rid of its outdated fleet of Soviet-made combat aircraft. It has been replacing them with modern versions, and this includes the Russian Su-30SM multi-role aircraft. In October, the Kazakh government put up 117 Soviet-era fighter and bomber aircraft for auction, and this included MiG-31 interceptors, MiG-27 fighter bombers, MiG-29 fighters, Su-24 bombers, produced in the 1970s and 1980s. In fact, the declared value for the sale was some $2.2 million. The government had disclosed that the aircraft were not in any condition to be used. Their modernization was economically impractical, and even their use as a source for spare parts, was limited. And despite that, the US reportedly went ahead and bought 81 of the 117 aircraft. My question here is, what for? Well, the US will not say. It has not declared the reason for this purchase. But you know what? All the outdated models that the US has bought are currently in service in Ukraine. So the immediate question is it planning to send the Soviet-era scrap to Kiev? The Kiev Post has made these claims, but you see, there are two sides to this story. According to Russian state media, RT, Kazakhstan has dismissed the reports of this sale. It has cited Kazakh state defense contractor Kaspek Export for the same. Now, it's difficult to tell, sitting here, which side is actually stating the truth. But what we can tell you is that there is precedent here. This has happened before. Ukraine's Western allies have purchased and transferred a plethora of Soviet military equipment to Ukraine. In fact, most of the equipment in the Ukrainian military at the beginning of the war was Soviet era. We are talking about tanks, aircraft, artillery. When the war broke out, Poland announced it would send Soviet-designed T-72 tanks to Ukraine. It also offered to send Soviet-made MiG-29 jets. Slovakia provided Ukraine with the S-300 anti-aircraft missile defense systems. The Czech Republic sent T-72s, which began service in 1973. You see, Eastern European countries have been more than happy to offload their old equipment to Ukraine and in exchange get newer models from the West. Now, it is America's turn, it seems. Let me tell you exactly how old these planes are. MiG-31 interceptors took the maiden flight back in 1975. It was the first Soviet fighter aircraft to have true look down and shoot down capability. The MiG-27 fighter bombers also entered frontline service in 1975. They were designed specifically for ground attack missions. As for the MiG-29 fighters, they were designed for gaining air superiority in the Soviet Union in the early 1970s. Initially, it was only an air fighter, but eventually it became a multi-role aircraft capable of precise attacks on the ground targets. All these aircraft date back to the 1970s. So, of what use really are they in this day and age? The suggestion is that the armed forces of Ukraine would disassemble them for spare parts or basically use the obsolete airframes as decoys at airfields. But is that really the answer? Russia, on the other hand, is deploying modern combat aircraft. What chance does Ukraine's aging fleet stand against that? And how are more Soviet-era aircraft going to help? To stay up to speed with the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.